So we're going to go into the OBS app a little bit further than we did in our previous video. If you are really new, you want to watch my basic video that I did first, not this one, because I'm going to assume you are already familiar with the interface, and I'm just going to run a little bit faster into using the application for different purposes. Now, I did. I'm picking it up from where I stopped before. So I still have my scene 1, scene 2, and scene 3 like I added before. So what do we do next? Now, to stream, or first of all, let's go through all the options we have up here. So we have our file, and under our file we have a Remux recording, which allows us to, or rather, let's start with show recording. Show recording simply just takes you into the folder where all your recordings are stored. And if you want to Remux recording, what it allows you to do is to be able to add in a video you must have recorded, for example, with MKV, and it gives you the option of putting it into another format as you please. Now, other things you'll find there is the settings, which you also have your settings option down here. What other thing we have here? Settings folder. I don't think there's anything much there anymore. You have your edit, and you would find your usual thing within your edit option, which is the copy, paste, undo, redo, transform, and so on and so forth. You have your advanced audio properties here, which also you can reach by hitting the cog icon at the end or at the bottom right corner of each of the audio options that you have there. Now, going further, you have your view, and you have your full screen, which allows you to hit in the full screen of any of the views that you want. You have your statistics, which gives you a start of the things going on your system in terms of streaming and recording, at any particular point in time. And you have your full multi-view full screen. Now, this multi-view, what it allows you to do is once you hit the multi-view, it gives you a window and kind of like displays all your scenes, 8 of them actually, as you have added them, and it gives you a kind of like an easy option, an overview option, to be able to switch across views. So basically what it allows you to do is helps you to put a view up into the preview, and you can, like I've said before, I have my G key as my transition key. I can just hit the G and it allows me transition easily. Using this alone, using this view alone just gives me a professional view to my streaming. So that's for the multi-view. You can have it as a windowed window, and you can equally have it as a full screen if you have an extra monitor attached to your laptop. Now, going further, you have your docks, and we have all, remember I told you that everything here can be docked and be rearranged whichever way you want it, that's for the docks, and you can always reset them to however you want if you have scattered them whichever way that makes you uncomfortable. So I'm just going to come back here and reset the user interface back to the original arrangements from installation. So you have your scene collection. I don't think there's much to describe under there, and you have your tools, which you have other options like your deck link output, captions, automatic scene switcher, output timer, scripts, NDI output settings. You have your you have your help menu, of course, which is the last on that list. Now, going further, you have, sorry, I'm trying to get my face out of this, and just going to, yeah. All right, so where were we? So you have your transition, and your transition, of course, each time you hit transition, it helps you cut from one scene to the other. Of course, you have your transition here, and the cog icon there has this duplicate scene, and it says when editing the same scene, it allows editing transform visibly on the source without modifying the output. That's one thing. You also have other options like the duplicate and duplicate sources rather, and your swap preview output scenes after transitioning. You could also just hover your mouse over each of. This software is so easy to use, and it takes nothing to really start using. Once you hover your mouse on top of each of these options, you should be able to tell what they stand for. So your cut option allows you to cut, and of course there's a fade option with a timer attached to it. You can drop this down and change the duration of the fade as you want. By default, it comes in as 300 milliseconds. Now, coming down from your preview and program output, you have this tiny bar here, which is a little bit context sensitive. When I say context, it depends on what you've selected. So I have a scene selected. It's going to display whatever it is I have for that scene. I could hit the properties to go back into this option. I could hit a deactivate, which takes out that option and activate this one more time. This happens sometimes when you lose a USB connection to your device, and you might have to, you'd find out that the visual is frozen, and you would like to activate and deactivate it. So like I said, this bar right here is context sensitive, so it depends on what you have selected. Like I've selected this video right here, and you can see that it has the timeline. It helps you know how long the video is going to play for, your pause, stop, properties, and so on and so forth. Now this is for your scene, and you already know that your scene is sort of like, think of it as a collection of sources. Now a collection of sources could when you come in here, you could have several things like a video, audio, music, everything all gathered up inside here, and you could use clicking on this to sort of like switch across each of those collections. Now you have your audio mixer here. As a rule, what I just do is desktop audio, which is sound that could be coming out from plugging in your USB, all those different things that come out from your computer when you operate your PC. I usually just knock this off just to make sure any of that does not enter my recording or stream. I also do the same for the mic of the system. I don't want mistakenly my mic to be activated, so I usually would take this down and also kill out the desktop audio and also mute them just to be safe. Talking about 2FA. Obviously, whatever I want would be audio from my video, audio from my webcam, or any other audio source I have added, and that's all I want to see right here. And of course, if this is speaking, you could also enter the cog icon here, go into the advanced audio properties, and work on the audio as you want also. So what you have here is the name, status, which is active, volume, and I can see that this is peaking right here. I don't want it to be this loud. So what I could just do is hit in a minus, I could fix in a minus amount of decibels in there, and I think you can see that it's no more peaking, it's no more hitting the red areas. Now, if this audio comes in as one-sided, maybe the left only or the right only, you could just click this to make this mono, sort of like merging the two sides of it. And you have also your balance between the left and right, and your off-sync setting if you want it to offset a little bit. Now, if I want to hear this audio to come out in my monitor, then I want to make sure it's by default monitor off. Then I could swap this to monitor and output just so that I can hear it on my PC speaker or my headphone or whatever output I'm using to monitor my audio. Now, that's for the audio mixer. You have your transition, which is not different from what you find here. And of course, you can add custom transitions if you want. Coming to the stream control, you have your start and stop streaming. You have your virtual camera. Your virtual camera allows you to send this view out as a web camera. Unfortunately, the audio won't go with it, just the visuals. But I would give you a very good use case for this. If I wanted to add in some visual elements to my stream, like having my face here and putting in maybe a name tag and so on and so forth, I could do all that within OBS and send this out as a virtual camera by starting the virtual camera. Just for you to understand what's going on when you activate your virtual camera, I'm going to open the Zoom app. Let's see what is visible on the virtual camera. Now, coming in here, I'm going to go into my settings. I don't have to start any meeting. I'm just going to go into my video options, and we can have or rather we can see vMix video external. There are different virtual cams out there that you can use. So I'm going to choose the OBS virtual camera, and you can see that my video is coming in right here. Of course, when you get to audio, you can always pick whatever audio you want as your input. Now, it's important to note that whenever you have one application making use of your webcam, no other application will be able to access such a device. So in this case now, I'm going to give you an example. I already know that my webcam is being used in OBS, and if I try to select my webcam here, you would see that it's going to be black, and that's because OBS is using it already. If I disable my webcam from being used in OBS, which is going in there and deleting my source, then it should be able to pop up here. So important. In this use case, once more, I am going to add my webcam or my video sources, everything into OBS, activate the virtual camera, and bring this into my Zoom or whatever application I want to use to view my visuals. And of course, when done, I hit OK and go straight into my meeting. Remember, within Zoom or any of those applications, which could also be Teams, you select OBS virtual camera. This gives you the flexibility of adding visual elements, logos on the side, images, and so much more on your visuals, and it just gives you a more professional look whenever you want it. Now, going further, you have your studio option here, which just allows you to do a straight cut amongst, or do a straight cut, which just allows you to do a straight cut across each of your scenes, or you have the option of having a preview before sending into your program output. Of course, you also have exit. I don't think I need to say what that is. Now, on the bottom side, bottom right side of the screen, you can also see the live icon, which is red right now. It's basically just telling you that you're not streaming at the moment. You have your record, and you have your CPU statistics or CPU usage information. That's sort of like running through the interface a little bit more. I'm going to go into the settings right now, and in the general options, you have automatically checked for update. Perhaps you want to disable this. I don't know what you're comfortable with, because you could also run into, though I think that's usually just when you're starting it up, it's going to ask you if you want to update or not. I don't like dealing with updates when I'm about to work. If I have enough time, I will run updates, but if not, I don't like it disturbing me. So you may disable that if you want. Open Start dialog on startup, which is the statistics option I showed you earlier. You want to hide OBS windows from screen capture. If you want, yes. If you don't want, okay. So basically what it's just saying is, if you plug in a screen capture to the system, do you want to hide OBS from that screen capture? And there are options. There are a lot of softwares that do that don't allow you to see the applications over a capture device. Going further, you want to show confirmation dialog for start stream, which is what I showed you earlier. You can have a confirmation dialog for starting stream, stopping recording, and automatically recording. Now, I always like this option because it helps me in case I do forget to hit the record button. So I always come into the settings option and enable automatically record when streaming. Now keep recording when streaming stops. That's another option if you want, and automatically start replay buffer when streaming. Keep replay buffer active when stream stops. Now the next set of option here, you have your source alignment snapping. I don't think most of this stuff might be useful. Oh, projection. Now, projection is very, very, very useful because right now I'm recording this whole screen as a projection. So basically what happens is, now it says hide cursor over projection, means that while you're watching the projection, you will not see the mouse hover over the screen. Make projection always on top, which is a good thing in case you bring up a window. Save projection on, or save projectors rather. I've been saying projection. Save projectors on exit, and limit one full screen per full projector per screen. So what this is basically is, I'm going to remove this for now, and like I said, I'm recording this as a projected screen. Now, what do I mean? Trying to record OBS directly, I wasn't able to. So what I did is to capture my screen to another system. So I'm basically recording everything you're watching right now. I'm recording it on my MacBook. So what does a projection look like? If I'm going to right click, so what I have is I right click on the program monitor and I say, please project on this other view. So just to show you what it looks like, I'm going to use my preview window and say project. So this is what it looks. Hold on, let me do that again. Where's my preview? Yeah, so instead of doing this option, or instead of picking this option, which just uses my second display as a full projection, I'm going to make it window just so that it shows as a window. So this allows you to sort of like, I can send this to my USB capture or another screen and just do a full screen, and you would not know that I'm not operating it directly from that monitor, so to speak. So of course, like I said, that option just gives you, that's what this projector options are for. I showed you the multi-view earlier, and you have different other options you can play around with in there. Your streaming options, you have a lot of options there: Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and so on and so forth. If you choose using the stream key option, it gives you the option to fill in your server URL and your stream key. All you have to do is copy and paste your stream key from your YouTube channel. If you do not know what that looks like, let me see if I can pull one up for you. So what I'm just going to do right now is I'm going to open up my my Go Live page, and just to show you what it looks like if you were to stream with YouTube, what you want to do right here is to go to the create option and say Go Live. And when you hit the Go Live button, it gets you to this page. You have the option of webcam, and you could go directly to your stream console online. Now in this kind of case, if it says use your camera in manual, now if I want to stream directly right now into this, all I have to do is copy my stream key and paste it right here. This is already filled in automatically for me. So once I'm done, all I have to do is to say start streaming. Now, just so that you know how to do this quickly, I'm just going to copy, and I'm going to make this this to be private, done, and save. And I'm just going to come in here and paste this. It's a random set of it's actually a random set of keys, so might not make much sense to you. Anyway, once done, hit the apply and hit OK and say start streaming. Now it asks you, of course, I enabled that within the option. Say yes, I want to start streaming. And if I do head back to my page, you can see this is green already, which says I have an excellent connection. You can see on my YouTube page that I have visuals coming up already, and it says excellent connection, and there we are. Now I'm going to stop the stream right now and go back into the settings. Now that's for the streaming option right here. Oh, did I cancel stop streaming? Yes, I want to stop streaming, stop recording also. So let's continue. Coming from the stream option, you have your output tab, and in the output tab you have your output mode. Now by the way, don't forget, if you have any form of output going on, you won't be able to access this option, and those outputs include maybe your NDI output source, your virtual camera, recording, streaming, and so on and so forth. So by default is on simple mode. You can change it to advanced if you want, and run through the options of streaming, recording, audio, and so on and so forth. Let's leave this simple for now. This is the bitrate for which you are going to be streaming with, and you can increase this all the way to, I think, about 5,006 or thereabout. I think on the basic side, 2.5 is fairly enough. It's a decent output bitrate. I often stream at 35 to 4,500 kilobytes per second. You want to leave most of the other options by default, just so that you do not run into problems. You can leave this as an MKV, which I think is the default format. I think, okay, yeah, this is it. Now it says recording cannot be paused if the recording quality is set to same as stream. So if I remove this from same as stream and say high quality medium file, for example, you're good to go. And another thing you want to take note of while recording is when you are doing your recordings, you want to always make sure you stop your recording, else your file will not be I don't know what word to use now. It won't be finalized, so to speak. So you will not be able to make use of a file. I think the MKV does allow you to do that, but I think MP4 and any other formats may not allow you to use it. You will have to do your trials to be sure about that, but take note of it. Like I said, you want to use, or you want to kind of like leave every other thing in its default setting. This is the audio tab, and the one thing I always come here for is when I want to have my audio. Like for example, I could be using this system as a playback system. I'm playing the video, the audio is playing right here. Of course, if I was streaming, the audio will be going online, and if I'm recording equally, the recording would have the audio. But if I wanted the system to be a playback system whereby I am projecting this view onto another screen, and the sound is coming out from the system into the mixer, or which could be an audio mixer or a video mixer, you want to make sure that the audio is heading out of the system to wherever you want it to go to. So I usually would come here and under the advanced section, I always pick whichever I want as my audio monitoring device. There's just about nothing I do in the audio section. For the video, of course, you have your resolution if you want to set the resolution of your stream or your output, and every other thing by default. Also, hotkeys is just to be able to set your hotkey. Like I said in a previous video, I set G here for a quick shortcut for transitioning, and you could use your space bar, just about anything really. You have your advanced section, and in this section I also come here usually for one thing, which is my stream delay. I sometimes use this for gaming competitions where you don't want people to sort of like use what you're streaming as a cue, and sometimes you want that delay just because of your stream time. You could want that delay really for any other thing, or for numerous amount of thing. So you want to come here and say stream delay. Of course, you want to put in the amount of seconds you want it to delay for. For now, I don't want that, so I'm going to remove it. You also have your automatically reconnect. This is if your network does time out. After a few seconds, OBS would automatically reconnect back, into the internet. All right, so that's about it for the options, and I'm going to quickly play. Repeat the some of the things I mentioned, which is some use cases. I could be streaming this out directly onto the internet. I could equally be using this for a meeting like a Zoom, allowing me the flexibility of placing graphical elements onto my visuals, and I would use my virtual camera inside of the Teams, the Zoom app, or wherever application I'm using. I could also be projecting this onto another screen by using the projection or the projector option right here. All you have to do is allow it you pick whichever screen you want it to project to if you have a large screen connected to your system. And what other options use case do we have? Yeah, that's kind of like, there are numerous ways you could use this application, and I hope I've given you insights into some of those ways. Now that's all for this for this video, and now we've come to the end of this video. I hope you've gathered enough knowledge and how to make use of the Open Broadcast software. It's a very, very versatile tool. It's free to use. This is the point I say. I hope you found this video very useful. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to share. Join us next time.